Okay, well, we are back at Franklin Bridge. New set.
We're trying something new.
New set. We're trying something new. We're actually in the pro shop here at Franklin Bridge. And this is exciting. This is exciting because I feel like we're finally coming into our own as far as what this podcast is going to look like for the foreseeable future, I think. So we started outside. That was set one on the back porch of Franklin Bridge.
No video.
Back porch of Franklin Bridge was an iconic statement in those podcasting days because we were on the back porch of Franklin Bridge. Then we moved inside when it got a little bit colder.
Yep.
Had a few cool guests. Had a few awesome ass Sherlocks, and now we're in the pro shop. Which, as you can see, this is probably this is definitely a glow up as far as what our podcast
from
is looking like.
From a look standpoint, definitely, man.
Absolutely, and it just feels better too. It feels like a studio. Got a lot of shirts to dampen the noise around us. It should sound really good and look really good on YouTube. We have lighting above us.
This is so great.
It's just great, man.
This is so good.
Got a good overall little setup here. So I think we're gonna stay here for the foreseeable future until stuff starts getting warm. And then we might have some.
We'll have some more glow up stuff outside.
That's right.
Get it where we can broadcast the sound out to the audience a little bit. We got some work to do there to figure that out, but
might have this is like 5% chance that it's going to happen right now. The probability is growing in every single day, but we might be going somewhere super cool to go play some golf. Maybe. So stay tuned for that. You'll want to.
Early January.
I thought it was March, right?
Well, we got that, but we might have somewhere to go on January the 3rd if you're in town.
There we go. That too. So we got a bunch of stuff coming down the pipe. I am loving this. Having a bunch of stuff coming down the pipe.
Merry Christmas to us and to our listeners and our followers.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this will come out on, I guess, tomorrow. So Merry Christmas to everybody watching and listening. You guys have been a huge part of what we're doing here. We talked a little bit on the Thankful For episode for Thanksgiving, but it's been a great little 6-month ride so far, and a lot more to come.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I don't even think you've been doing this for 6 months yet.
As far as what,
helping with the podcast?
Yeah, no, I haven't. That's a cool story. We can get into that a little bit before we talk about what we're going to talk about today. But basically, I came to you for a lesson. And you were telling me about how you had a podcast, and I'm like, dude, I do this. And you're like, all right, let's try it out.
Let's give it a go. We had a couple of guest co-hosts, which was kind of fun. And
just do a little year recap, 6-month recap.
Yeah,
that might be a good one here. We can talk about the other one on a later episode, maybe.
Yeah, so let's do that. So for those that are just tuning in, I was the lead instructor at the Hank Johnson School of Golf in Birmingham.
Introduce yourself.
Scott Hassey, Director of Player Development here at Franklin Bridge in Franklin, Tennessee. Maybe one of the busiest golf courses that you'll ever go to.
Honestly, yes. But we do a great job of keeping up pace of play, doing all that.
That's been really important here and improving the quality of the place. We're under new ownership as of not quite 2 years ago.
I was going to say it's like a year and 3 quarters.
Changes, improvements to customer service, to the clubhouse here and dining facilities, and to
the playing experience.
Yep. I came in here in April 1.
You haven't even been here a year yet. That's crazy.
I've only been here for 8 months.
I wish you could have seen the course.
Going on 9 months.
I wish you could have seen the course beforehand.
That's what everybody tells me. It was a train wreck, just of neglect for years and years. So I'm loving being here, and the layout's awesome, and Brooks is taking it back to its original kind of design and makeup, and
what it should have been.
Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. I'm super stoked about that. So
big facility changes coming too in the next year as well.
Yeah, so we've got some major changes to the practice facilities. One of the holes out here will probably be a part of that. So we just don't have a good practice green, and we didn't when he came in, and we had bigger fish to fry. New superintendent came in 2 weeks after I got here, so lots of changes. Good. I won't even say first year, first 9 months. So it's been great here, man. And so I had this podcast before we came up here, but my podcast kind of went dark probably in March. You'd have to go and look.
Yeah.
But just getting up here and getting a new job started and getting to know people and checking all that out. So that was a major shift, just being a new place in the midst of COVID. What a crazy year for a lot of people. A very hard year for a lot of people. It's been really good for me. In some ways been hard on our marriage and parenting, just being stuck in an apartment with 2 young kids and the normal things not being open, like the zoo and the science center and just things
zoo is
like
open
that.
now. Zoo
It
is
is,
open
and
now.
we've used it, but it's just not the same. Like half the stuff's closed that you can't see and do. All the amphitheater stuff isn't open.
Yep.
Everybody's walking around with masks, so you don't have the normal interaction that you would with other families. And you know how kids are, like they just naturally interact with other kids, you know. So it's just not the same. And you know, maybe the kids don't know any different, but it just changes the experience. So
for sure.
But
I mean, like,
so yeah.
Back to Franklin Bridge, like this place has probably had its busiest 6 months of its entire existence here in the last 6 months, and that's a lot thanks to you. A lot thanks to Brooks and what he's done to put the place together again. A lot to do with the Persimmon Pub as well. This place has kind of become a destination even after hours. Normally, this parking lot would be abandoned by sundown, and now you come in here, Persimmon Pub, where the locals go. And it seems like I usually am here on Wednesday nights filming the podcast. Tonight's a Tuesday night, and there's still a crowd there, even though the kitchen's not even open.
Yep.
So I mean, it's just a great place to come and play. If you're looking for a new track to come and try out, and if you're new to the area, come to Franklin Bridge. We'll set you up.
Or even if you're just traveling to the area, like if you're coming through Nashville, this is a golf course to come and play. You're going to want to call ahead 7 days in advance if possible.
Or become a River Club member.
Yeah, or become a River Club member. That would be great. No, it's been great. One of the things getting to do is to kind of spread my own wings and develop my own style and have my own teaching philosophies and really carry those things out. I had an intern who's one of my college players. She came up here with me in the midst of COVID. Like, it's just weird, man. And she was a fantastic asset, Erica. And right now I've got one of my tour girls, Elaine. Elaine Wood, she's here.
Who is only going up at this point.
Oh, yeah. It's been fantastic having her here. I've got another young man who's declaring professional in January. He'll play his first professional event in January.
Very cool.
So the two of them have been practicing a ton together.
Road to the tour.
Great. Hey,
Road
man,
to the tour.
This has been awesome. And
then the number
of
sorry, I got to interrupt here. You know what we got to do one time is we should stream. I have the game on Xbox. It's PGA 20 or it's the PGA Tour 21. What do they call
2020.
it? No, 21. Because the year they release them a year ahead. Anyway, we should stream us playing some PGA Tour video game.
Dude, that would be epic. I have
Throw
a feeling I'd get
TV.
my tail kicked.
You probably would, but it's also a great way to do course strategy too. Because
we could talk about that.
How
would you play this hole? Well, now that I can hit it 400 yards with this player.
No. It's not like a video game. It's actually like very realistic. Like if you're hitting off of different lies, the ball will actually jump off. So if you're on like if your ball's on an awkward lie, it'll actually jump off accurately. You can only get an X amount of power with your club. If you're in the rough, you have to club up, club down, spin, dynamic loft, all that kind of stuff.
You mean it's not like the big arcade game we got
exactly.
up there?
It's not Golden Tee, that's for sure.
Not Golden Tee.
But there's a content idea right there. We should do that.
I like that.
But back to the bridge. What do you think are some top highlights of this year for you?
Honestly, as bad as COVID was for a lot of people, and I feel for them, I really do. We've had some people close to us really struggle with it. But COVID actually gave me an opportunity, instead of doing a normal massive introduction like you would do for a director of player development or director of instruction, where you have this big meet and greet and Q&A and all that, and you could have hundreds of people there.
Could be intimidating for some as well. Yeah.
So we decided to go Skype, or not. Is it Skype? I don't remember.
Zoom? Yeah.
Zoom? Man, throwback, Skype. Man, shout out to Skype. They're going, man, we're hanging on by a thread. But we did a Zoom call with a bunch of River Club members. We had 50 or 60 of them jump on a Zoom call. Just kind of an initial introduction with Brooks and me, and that went well. But I did this free 15-minute evaluation.
Yes. Oh, dude, big.
And we do free clinics. Now, I kept the size down to 6. but I did free clinics and some paid clinics as well. Small clinic size, small clinic setting. We do free clinics every single week from second week of April all the way through October. I didn't do any November, December, just weather and timing and other programming and all that, but basically did 6 months worth of free clinics. And a lot of players got better off of that. And not everybody came for a lesson, but that wasn't, I mean, I've had probably
it's also the intro. It's the intro to lessons too.
Yeah.
Because if you're somebody who hasn't had a lesson ever before, it's going to be hard to justify that price tag, especially since it's a little bit more expensive than, say some other things that you want to go do. But as soon as you give them this 15-minute, basically introduction to golf lessons, I feel like it really opens the door to, okay, I can actually be really good at this game. And going back to our last podcast, Golf's 3 Problems, expenses going into it it's a tough thing to wrap your head around. But those free clinics really do it for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, well no, and not everybody has the dollars. Like we have a bunch of people here who do have a lot of money and they pay for private lessons, and I had one guy buy a package of 24 lessons and my lesson rate's $125 even if I discount that package, which it's severely discounted.
Yeah.
That's still a lot of money to spend on lessons for a year. And so it was really good. So we sorry, we got some interruptions.
Through.
Yeah, just lay him down.
You can just lay him down
you
right
can just
here.
lay him down. Yeah. I'll take care of him. You're good, man. Hey, that makes it live.
Makes it human. Makes it live.
Right.
That's right.
Where was I?
So we were talking about lessons and the packet and affording
Oh
lessons.
yeah,
and
so
all that
like
stuff, yeah.
not everybody can afford that expense, but that's the beauty of being a River Club members. You don't have to.
Right.
But I made it a requirement to come to any of the clinics. You have to first get that evaluation. That allows me to still personalize the content for those that are coming to the lessons, and not just give you a traditional group lesson where I give everybody the same thing, but actually how does this specifically apply to you? And so that was a fantastic way for me to kind of give an individualized lesson in a group setting, which is a big deal,
especially when you're talking about golf and how intimidating it can be to go get lessons and all that stuff. Like, I can't count the times where I've been talking to you where you're like, hey man, I've got this great group lesson idea. It's only for X. Like it's only for baseball players.
Yeah.
It's only for people over a certain weight, or it's only for people who, do X, Y, or Z. But it really gives that personalized feel. So now you're taking these people out who, if everybody can hit a draw in a group except for, one person, you're not teaching somebody.
Correct.
You're not leaving anybody behind.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so we did them topical so people could kind of choose what they wanted to do. And I think I've done over 250 evaluations.
Which, I mean, divide that by 4 for like an hourly rate for you. And I mean, that's a lot of, you're really putting in the work here to get to know everybody.
Yeah. And so, when I initially started it out, when Erica was here, and it was a combination of her idea too, like we were kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. I was like, I'm just going to make it an evaluation so that I can set up these clinics, kind of figure out the general needs. So that was one of the things that doing these 15-minute evals allowed me to do, is like, where are people the weakest so that I can help the most people, rather than just kind of pick something off the top of my head like, oh, what do I want to teach? Well, what do they need? And so it allowed me to really do something based on what they needed rather than what I thought would be best.
That's exactly right.
So that was great. But I looked at Erica, and I think we talked about this in one of the earlier podcasts. I was like, I got a couple minutes into the first eval, and I looked at Erica. I was like, but I can fix it like right now.
But I can do it really quick.
I can do it right now, and it's not just a short-term change. It's a long-term deal.
I remember you did that with me on my eval. You were like, hey, you ready to get learning? And I was like, yeah, I guess.
I thought this was just an evaluation.
I know. You gave me like 1 or 2 tips, and it gave me enough momentum to at least go play around.
Yeah.
And then I came back and started getting better and better and better. So.
Yeah. And so, being able to show people that they can get better solves golf's problem of it's hard. It is hard. Like if you want to play at your highest level, like I'm running this off-season winter program for 4 months for 15 people. These 15 people have said, hey, I want to make a really aggressive approach to changing my entire game. And so in that setting, I can really push major habit change
for multiple people.
But I know not everybody has the time, the dollars, the energy, the motivation to really do all that.
So let's dive into this real quick. So what did we decide were golf's 3 problems? 1, it's hard.
Yep.
2,
takes a lot of time.
And 3, it's expensive,
yeah.
right? And so what are we doing here by giving these, clinics that's different than any other club that I've ever seen in the country?
I don't know a club that gives that many free clinics.
Well, it's not only the free part, but number 1, your just the law of supply and the demand, you increase the supply and let's see, just economics, it's not supply and demand.
Yeah.
You increase the supply, the price goes down. So since you're doing with a lot more people, the price is obviously less.
Yep.
So that solves the expensive part. It's hard. You're doing it with other people, which incentivizes you to keep with it and keep on doing it, right? And then the other one, it takes a lot of time. Time is just something you can't change. But when you're doing it with other people in a setting that's fun and it's enjoyable and you enjoy the practices, makes it all the more tolerable. So we're solving golf's you're solving golf's 3 problems in
all at once
and for a really affordable price.
Yeah. Well, it takes forever to learn the game. Yeah, but I can do it really fast. Like, what if it didn't take you forever? What if you could start playing better right now?
Right.
If you go out there right now and play better and shoot a lower score. I had one guy who came to me in one of these evals, and I gave him something to do. Like, I could fix his really quick. It helps that he was formerly a Major League Baseball player. You can actually see his review on my Thrive Sports. I don't remember the exact number, but I believe if you go in there, he'll say what it is. After his first evaluation, that initial evaluation, he improved his personal best score by 7 strokes the next round he went out and played. And so, like, people can get better fast.
It's just comical.
And people think, oh, it's just a short-term fix. I was like, but he's continuing to play that better. So is it short-term or is it long-term? Like, you can do both. There's just the idea that it takes forever to learn the game.
Yeah.
And it just, not if you have the right instruction. And I had great training where I was. I had 10 years of elite world-class training and a different way of looking at things, and now I have my own spin and style to it. Like, I can fix you quick. I mean, I fixed some people that haven't taken a single lesson since, but they continue to shoot lower scores. I had one guy send me an email. Dude couldn't break 90. If you look at his golf swing, you're going, oh, this is awful. He was shooting in the high 80s, low 90s, playing with the senior group, and now he's shooting in the mid to high 70s, and he's only taken 1 eval.
Crazy.
And so he keeps sending me updates. I was like, this is awesome, thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah. So what you've done here, and this is just you with your teaching philosophy. So it's a mixture, in my opinion, it's a mixture of you and Brooks, right? Because
I would agree with that.
Because Brooks is, the the businessman behind, he's the businessman behind the bigger picture here. But what you're doing is you're creating this space where people want to come here to play, want to come here to learn, want to come here to, go through learning together, right? Brooks is creating this atmosphere that it's affordable. He's creating the branding around it to make it be a place where people want to come, and he's making it be a place that I guess it's just fun to play at. Like, we had this tournament just on Saturday called the Bear, and it's like if putt-putt was real golf. That's how I would honestly kind of describe it, right?
Yeah.
It was tucked pins on everything. There's different, there's equipment in the middle of these fairways. If you hit it, it's a 2-stroke penalty.
When we say tucked pin, we're talking like
impossible
inches from the edge of the green on crazy, stupid slopes. And
so this is a crazy story too. So on 10, my group, it's just the cup changer.
Yeah.
And you have to hit the cup changer and it's hold. But this cup changer is on such a slope where you either have to hit it or have to hit it on the fringe, or else your ball is just going to roll all the way back down the green. And so me, Jordan Fox, and Clay Mallard, like both of those
group.
Both of those guys are really good players. Clay won the club championship here.
Yeah.
I am okay. Jordan's scratch golfer. And so guess what we scored on that hole?
7.
A 13.
That's hilarious.
A 13.
And that was also one with like a bunch of stuff in the middle of the fairway and all that kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Which also plays into my hand, and I talk about core strategy a lot. Like, he put things out there that force people to think in a different way.
Yeah.
Which fits.
But was fun.
But it was fun. And so you're doing it in an environment where all the branding matches.
Yep.
And so it's been awesome to kind of be a part of all that.
It's just it's so much fun, man. It's not the stoic sport that everybody it's stereotypically claimed to be, like the
Yeah.
stoic, hard, elitist sport. Like, no, golf is fun, and we need to bring that to more people.
Yep.
And I think that's the overarching goal of Franklin Bridge in its essence, and I think it's what makes it unique to anywhere that I've ever played before. The only thing that another club might have on this club is maybe more dollars to make the playing surface better. But other than that, like, there is nothing at this club there's nothing that another club can match about this club. There's just not.
I would agree. And we've got an awesome team here, and that's kind of what Brooks has been doing, is trying to put all the right people here. Like, we've got great staff inside. We've got a great superintendent and assistant superintendent.
I was about to say, he said the course isn't even going to reach its peak until next year, right?
And even then, aesthetically, we've probably 2 to 3 years out with some of the work that they're doing with the native grasses and
dude, it's going to be a place to
and
play.
Things like, it's just absolutely incredible what's going on here. And so, first year, man, it's been awesome.
Not even first year, man.
No.
First 9 months. First 8 months.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
And I'm thankful to be in an industry that allows me to continue to have a job. I know a lot of people have lost a job, but again, the River Club has allowed people to play golf at an affordable price in the midst of a pandemic where people are losing jobs. Like, there are people here who've lost their jobs, but they've kept their membership because it's not $180 a month or $500 or $600. Like, they can
50.
afford, it's 50 at the most.
Yeah.
And they can still come out and practice, and golf has luckily been something that people can still do rather than everything being shut down, because most courses have over 150 acres, and you're spreading in the course of a day between 100 and 250 people over the course of 150 acres. It's a great way to kind of social distance and still get out and interact with people and still have a social life.
Yep.
In the midst of something that's been very difficult for a lot of people. So,
well, Brooks did the hard part in the first year. This past 9 months has kind of been the prime of the club so far. As you can see, we're sitting in the pro shop with amazing branding, like our red Franklin Bridge up here. All of our Franklin Bridge merchandise is just absolutely dynamite too. Brooks has done an amazing job with the branding of this place as well, making this a destination place to play. Scott's here, making it easier for you to learn how to play. I'm here for you to listen to a podcast. That's pretty much all I'm here for. But hey, it's great too.
It's been great. No, you've brought some great input and great insight. So it's been awesome, man.
It's gonna be a great next year.
Hey, bring on 2021. Let's go.
2021 is gonna be the best year yet. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here from inside the pro shop at Franklin Bridge. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.